Have you ever felt completely stuck in life? Like you're walking in circles, wanting to grow and change, but somehow you always end up exactly where you started? I'm Andrew Meet Rich, and I know that feeling way too well. 5 years ago, I was drowning in debt, making the same mistakes over and over, procrastinating on everything that mattered. I'd have these amazing ideas at 3 in the morning, write them down, and then nothing. I'd find every excuse in the book not to follow through. Sound familiar? But here's what changed everything for me. I discovered that personal growth isn't about massive overnight transformations. It's about 7 simple habits that, when you actually do them consistently, create results that feel almost magical. Today, I'm sharing those exact 7 strategies that pulled me out of financial chaos and into a life I actually love waking up to. These aren't complicated theories or feel good fluff. They're practical psychology backed methods that work even when you feel overwhelmed, even when you think you don't have time, even when that voice in your head is screaming that you're not good enough. Whether you're trying to fix your money situation, build better relationships, or just stop feeling like you're wasting your potential, these 7 habits will change how you see yourself and what's possible for your future. Hit that like button if you're ready to stop making excuses, and subscribe because next week's video could be the breakthrough moment you've been waiting for. Let me tell you about Jessica. Actually, let me be honest. Jessica was me 3 years ago, but I'll tell it like I'm talking about a friend, because it's easier that way. Jessica had this incredible business idea. She was lying in bed one Tuesday night and suddenly it hit her. This perfect plan that could solve her money problems and finally make her feel successful. She grabbed her phone, typed out pages of notes, felt this rush of excitement. This was it. This was her moment. The next morning, she woke up to her alarm, looked at those notes, and immediately thought, but what if it doesn't work? What if people think it's stupid? What if I'm not smart enough? I should probably research this more first. Sound familiar? 3 months later, nothing had happened. The notes were still sitting there, and Jessica, me, felt even worse than before because now I was a person who couldn't even trust myself to follow through on my own ideas. That's when I realized something crucial about how our brains work. Your mind isn't trying to hurt you when it talks you out of taking action. It's trying to protect you. But protection and growth, they're often complete opposites. And here's where most people get stuck. They think the solution is to get more motivated, to find the perfect plan, to wait until they feel ready. But I discovered something that changes everything. The first habit that transformed my life was this. When you have an idea, you have exactly 60 seconds to take one real action on it, or your brain will kill it. I call this the 60-second rule, and it's based on real psychology. Your brain produces something called decision fatigue. The longer you wait to act on an idea, the heavier it feels, the scarier it becomes, until eventually doing nothing feels safer than doing something. But here's the game changer. You don't need to execute the whole idea in 60 seconds. You just need to make it real in some tiny way. When I had the idea to start this YouTube channel, I didn't spend 3 weeks planning content. Within 1 minute, I grabbed my phone and recorded myself saying, "Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'm going to help people fix their money problems." It was terrible. I looked nervous. I stumbled over words, but it was real. Then I did something that sealed the deal. I called my best friend Tom and said, "I just recorded my first YouTube video. I'm doing this, and I'm telling you, so I can't back out." That's your action step right here. Create what I call an accountability anchor. The moment you have an idea you want to pursue, tell someone about it immediately. Make it impossible to retreat back into your comfort zone. Your brain wants to keep you safe, but safe and successful are rarely the same thing. Now, here's where most personal growth advice gets it completely wrong. They tell you to be disciplined, but they don't tell you how to actually build discipline when you feel like you have none. I used to think disciplined people were just born different, like they had some magical willpower gene that I didn't inherit. But after interviewing dozens of successful people for my financial consulting work, I discovered their secret. They don't rely on feeling motivated. They use what I call minimum viable progress. Instead of saying, "I'm going to work out for an hour every day," they commit to putting on their workout clothes. That's it. Instead of, "I'm going to read 50 pages tonight," they commit to opening the book. This isn't about setting the bar low. It's about understanding how your brain actually works. When you complete a small commitment to yourself, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that makes you feel good when you check something off your to-do list. This creates momentum. I started with 5 push-ups every morning. Not 50, not 20, just 5. It felt almost silly, but after 2 weeks, I was doing 15 without even thinking about it. After a month, I had a real workout routine. The magic happens when you prove to yourself that you're someone who keeps commitments. Your identity starts shifting from "I'm not disciplined" to "I'm someone who follows through." Pick one tiny thing you can do every single day. Make it so small it feels almost embarrassing not to do it. The third habit that changed everything was learning to be strategically curious. Most people are afraid to ask questions because they think it makes them look stupid. But successful people ask questions because they'd rather look stupid for 5 minutes than stay ignorant for 5 years. When I was drowning in debt, I was too embarrassed to ask for help. I thought I should figure it out myself, that asking questions would expose how little I actually knew about money. That shame kept me stuck for 2 extra years. Then I met this guy at a coffee shop who casually mentioned he'd paid off 40,000 in student loans in 18 months. Instead of nodding politely and feeling jealous, I swallowed my pride and asked, "How did you actually do that? Like, what was your specific strategy?" That 10-minute conversation gave me a roadmap that saved me literally thousands of dollars in interest payments. Here's what I learned. People love sharing their success stories. When you ask someone, "How did you achieve that?" you're giving them a chance to feel proud and helpful. You're not bothering them, you're complimenting them. Start with one person this week. Find someone who has something you want, whether that's financial success, a great relationship, a business you admire, and ask them one specific question about how they got there. The worst thing that happens? They don't respond. The best thing? You get insider knowledge that would have taken you years to figure out alone. Look, I could give you the other 4 habits right now, but here's what I've learned about lasting change. It's not about knowing more strategies, it's about actually using the ones that work. You've got 3 powerful tools now: the 60-second rule for beating procrastination, minimum viable progress for building real discipline, and strategic curiosity for learning from people who've already solved your problems. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Don't wait until you've watched 5 more videos or read 3 more articles. Your future self is depending on the decisions you make in the next hour, not the next month. Pick one idea that's been sitting in the back of your mind. Maybe it's starting that side business. Maybe it's finally having that difficult conversation. Maybe it's just organizing your finances so you can sleep better at night. Give yourself 60 seconds to take one tiny action on it right now. Remember, small shifts create massive changes, but only if you actually make the shifts. I'm dropping the remaining 4 life-changing habits in next week's video, including the counterintuitive truth about money that most people get completely backwards, and why surrounding yourself with the right people might be sabotaging your growth. But first, prove to yourself that you're someone who takes action. 60 seconds. One small step. Your transformation starts the moment you decide to stop planning and start doing.